Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from Challenge Daytona. We're brought to you by Toyota, the Daytona International Speedway, the NASCAR Foundation, the YMCA, and the City of Daytona Beach. Our next guest was fourth here last year at Challenge Daytona, Mr. Taylor Reid. How you doing, Taylor?
Pretty good. Yeah, it's been a little bit wet, but it looks like we're going to have a nice sunny evening for the race.
And are you a NASCAR guy? Were you into this stuff?
To be honest, I'm not NASCAR. I'm F1.
Then you're real racing.
Got a little bit of a Euro haircut, as you can see.
Yes.
So, yeah, I really like that. I follow the F1 series, but this is just as cool. Like, they go in circles. But
how is it riding on that track?
Oh, it's amazing. Like, we don't really hit the banks because we're not going fast enough, but the smoothest pavement you'll ever have, and just head down and hammer. So it'll be really interesting to see some of these guys like Lionel and Starkey and myself go out there. Yeah.
So you look at yourself in terms of cycling. That's your.
It's definitely running's my best,
right.
But cycling I'm strong at. I'm a smaller guy, so I like the hills, but
right.
I can cut through the wind really nicely.
Very cool. And you got into this stuff really early.
Yeah.
And you started at 16 in triathlon, but you were mountain biking before that.
Yeah. So family started with mountain biking. So I did a couple O Cups. That's like Ontario Cups.
Yeah.
And then I switched over to cross country running, and Barry Shepley pulled me into triathlons, and I've been there since 16. Yeah.
So with Barry pulling you into triathlon, was there a push for ITU and potentially the Olympics?
So we didn't want to go into any of the long stuff too early. Mm-hmm. So I stayed in the ITU and focused on trying to make the Olympic teams for about 10 years or so, was the real focus. And then sort of, moved on to a long course that really suited me.
Yeah, you moved over in 2014.
Yep.
And then before you're a spokesperson for dyslexia.
Yes, yeah.
You were diagnosed how old?
I was in grade 2, so I believe you're about 10 or 12 then. Yeah, so I've learned a lot of skills that helped me overcome that difficulty. And school was difficult, but I really felt that triathlon and sports helped me overcome.
It really does, doesn't
stuff.
it? That focus?
It focused me, yes. Yeah.
It's funny. I think that we sometimes underestimate the power of sport and how it can help with so many different things. I see it with our challenged athletes. But same thing with something like dyslexia.
And it's really interesting, because it's a solo sport. So I never really was able to click with the team sports, but that solo effort that lets you focus on yourself and build yourself out gives you that confidence where in other parts of life you may not feel that you have it. So you can really bring that into the rest of your life, the confidence that you build.
Well, the nice thing is you're sort of in your own head.
Exactly,
when you're racing, especially on the bike and in the run and the swim, it's you against you.
Yeah.
And with the team thing, you have to be thinking there's so much of the social stuff happening.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes it really tough.
And so it's it was really nice that way. And that's basically driven me. I went into university for one of my hardest degrees I could have picked, but because I loved it, just like I love triathlon, I was willing to work for it. Yeah, so I have a histories degree.
Very cool. Yeah. So 5 pro wins, 11 podiums, 21 top 5s. You've done some challenge races, never been out of the top 4.
Yep, let's hopefully that stays that way.
You won Challenge St. Andrews.
Yeah.
And 4th here last year, and 4th in Cancun. Yeah. I mean, you're going to some nice places.
Yeah, some very nice places, and they get us there. And Challenge St. Andrews was actually amazing. It was my first pro win, but my parents actually were there.
Really?
So I got to give my parents the medal, and it was a very nice experience that way.
Very cool. And what, you said you did one full.
Yes.
Florida?
Yeah, I did Florida. So I was actually down around here in
What'd you think?
Panama City. Oh, that was a long day. I've got a lot to learn for the full, but I probably will do at least one more next year, probably until I get it going. But
yeah, but not too. You don't need to rush into them.
Exactly.
You're a young
Still
guy.
a young guy.
Yeah. And there's plenty of 70.3s out there. Is that you think that's your best distance?
Yeah, by far. It's my favorite, and I do like a little more hills than a flat track, but anything will go. Yeah.
And for tomorrow, what do you have expectations on what you'd like to do?
To be honest, it's late in the season, so I just really want to race.
Right.
So we've got a lot of great guys here, and I'm just basically going to go from the gun to the finish line. It doesn't matter if I'm in 10th and 1st or whatever. I'm going for it all the way.
Love that. Yeah, you get to race against Lionel Sanders.
Yeah, fellow Canadian.
Yeah. Have you raced against Lionel?
A few times, actually. Obviously not a lot this year with his injury, but I raced him last weekend in Indian Wells. He had a great day. I didn't have a good day, but that's how it goes. We actually were on the same cross-country team in McMaster.
No way!
Yeah, so we go way back,
Wow, you're talking grammar school, high school type of thing?
No, university.
University?
McMaster, yeah. So we ran both at McMaster and
How good was he?
He was good, but I beat him once or twice, so he wasn't great.
Okay.
No, he was really good.
Yeah.
He suffered a little bit in the super muddy courses,
right,
where I really thrived in that. So yeah,
because you're lighter.
Yeah, exactly. I'm lighter. I float over that. He crashed. He actually fell in that one, and I was like, "No, my teammate, come back!" But yeah, that was some fun times, and yeah, now we've extended it into our pro career, so it's pretty cool.
That is cool. And when you look at this, is the goal this next year 70.3 Worlds?
I think so, yeah. Like, I will definitely have to qualify for that.
Yeah.
But just the idea of New Zealand is amazing. Like, I may consider the Ironman New Zealand earlier in the year, but that'll obviously give me a little time to scout the area. And yeah, I've been to Worlds a few times, but I've taken a few years off, so I think it's time for me to go back, yeah.
So look at when you talk about Challenge St. Andrews, Challenge Daytona, Challenge Cancun, all so unique.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
In terms of location, in terms of type of courses.
Yeah.
When you talk about this race in particular, what do you have to focus on when you're, because it seems like because you're doing 15 laps same place, you could lose focus.
Yeah, this one you have to be very focused on. Your power numbers are so important because we're on a flat course, so you have to know what you're doing there. And then I actually lap my bike computer so that I'm keeping track of my own laps for the 15, so that's really nice. But yeah, it's very much like you got to keep your head down, stay aero, and make sure you don't override, because it's short, but like if you go out at 500 watts for the first couple of laps, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah. And we know that Lionel and Andrew are probably going to be going for that.
They're going to be going for that, so we'll see what happens.
Is it hard to pass on this course because you don't want to give up that lower line?
Not too bad. You just have to make your moves around like the straights. It'll be interesting to see, like, Starkey used this weird tactic on the winds last year. He actually like rode up the track with the tailwind and then came down it.
Did he?
Yeah, so that was really interesting. I don't know if it'll be windy enough tomorrow to actually make that an advantage, but we'll see if anyone does that.
Tactics, I like tactics.
People definitely pull out the tactics on even a simplest course as this. Yeah.
Love it. Taylor, have a great race tomorrow.
Thank you, yeah.
A pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Taylor Reid has been our guest, everyone. Hold on. We will be right back.